because the videos don't record. They record with a number. Like what's saved on the SD card's just an identifying number. So it doesn't tell me what it is, and then I have to rename it. And so this helps me when we have a lot on there.
That's why they do it in the big picture movies.
And that's why there's the snap.
Well, in the big picture movies, what they...
Audio, and that's why there's a snap.
When you
line up with the audio, you look for the peak in the sound.
Yeah. And then with the big picture ones, what they also do is they usually do dozens of takes. And they usually do dozens of scenes. And so by the time it goes to the editor, they have to cut all that and organize it. And sometimes the director will say, I need take 12 and take 10 put together. And so that's...
Oh, and they also don't do it in sync.
No, nobody does.
Because they could do the ending at the very beginning. And so it's all like, that's what.
And then they'll film a scene where they go, okay, this kind of changes things, so let's go back and refilm this scene and change.
Yeah.
So.
Or when they fire someone right before the movie ends, or someone dies right before the
And they have to redo every, yeah.
Somebody like
that's never happened.
Somebody gropes somebody and they're like, you're out of here.
Like, we did the first 50 episodes with Steve, remember? And then, you know.
And then he
not
blew.
Like having to edit out Steve.
I know, Steve was awful.
Why did we choose him?
Scuba Steve was just horrible.
It was like, okay, we'll use Andy.
Well, this is still Steve. We just dubbed a voiceover.
We dubbed a voiceover and are spending a fortune on editing and CGI.
I'm still working on that contract to see if we can just keep this guy here and have James Earl Jones voiceover. Cheers!
Welcome, everybody.
How are you today?
Good.
So we're back, and as you can see, we haven't changed tire. I'm about ready to head to Europe here. And so this episode will come out while I am in Europe. What?
You acting like we don't do this every time.
Yeah. But this episode will come out while we're in Europe. This is episode 148. And we're going to go back to Alaska like we did the last episode. We're going to look at the 50 Fanthoms Gin from Port Chillicoot Distillery. And we've done 2 or 3 Port Chillicoots. And I think we got one more. We have their bourbon, Boatwright bourbon left to do. But this is a really popular distillery in Alaska. And you can get some of this outside of Alaska. And I'm really a big fan of Port Chillicoot. I don't think we've not liked anything that they've had. You don't remember any of it, do you? So, but this is their gin, and we haven't actually tried it. I just opened the thing in just a second ago. Cody's like, please, sir, can I have some more? So this is a non-age statement. They don't do gin. They don't age gin. It's 45%, so that's a 90 proof gin. Wow. That seems high.
Yeah.
At $35 for a 750. This is a 300. So
35.
This will probably run you about 25. So $35.
It's a 2-barrel.
It's going to be a 2-barrel, yeah. And gin is something that has grown on me quite a bit since we started this. My wife and I had gone to London, and she got me to try some gin, and I ended up liking it. Hey, camera guy.
Maggie's owner. Maggie's man.
So, little unprepared for this episode.
It's Cody's hand.
It's still too far.
Bad shirt.
Bad shoulders.
His hair. His ear.
All right. Yeah.
So, you weren't a fan of gin because your younger brother
Gave me some crappy gin and said it was awesome. And it was crappy.
I think he got
My younger brother, you know who you are. You watch these episodes. You suck at picking out gin.
I think he got off the airplane and like went to the first liquor store and bought like the cheapest gin.
Yeah, because I think he went to the liquor store and because he asked if I had gin because he's a gin fan. And I said no. So he went to the liquor store. And this is 20 some odd years ago, I guess. It's a long time ago.
That was a long time ago.
So he shows up, and I think they actually paid him to take the gin. It was so bad. It was horrible. And that was my first true, other than Long Island's. Is there gin in Long Island's?
Yeah.
So other than Long Island's, that's my true first impression of gin. And it turned me off until
20 years.
Yeah, till almost 2 years ago.
Well, in his defense, I'm going to say
No defense.
he drinks gin and tonics, and you don't want to have a really good gin in your gin and tonic, but you don't want that gin in your gin and tonics.
I don't even know how that company's still in business.
I think that gin would be like for like cleaning your wound or something.
Yeah, it was just absolutely
Picture
horrendous.
festering gangrene wound.
And what's funny,
Medical smell.
Yeah.
what's funny is that gin was so horrible, yet he drank most of it when he was here.
In gin and tonics.
Yeah. So then my wife introduced me to better gin, and now I'm a fan. We usually will try to pick up gin when we're out whiskey hunting.
Oh, I like
But
gin.
we have so much now, she's put a hold on it because she's not a big drinker, but we have a bunch of gin. So we're going to review this just like we do all our other liquor. So cost is $35, so this is a 2-barrel cost. We're going to look at flavor, bite, and aroma. Wow.
Smells pretty good.
Yeah, I think you should all be thanking me that I decided to do this one because the one that we should be doing is the whiskey that nobody wants to try.
I'll try it.
No, you won't.
Yes, I will.
The bacon whiskey?
I don't want to try it, but I'll try it.
Yeah, we will do the bacon whiskey coming up, but I think Andy and Cody are going to film that while I'm gone.
No.
Only if we can have a big plate of bacon
No.
right here while we're...
Ruins it. No.
I like gin.
Okay, so I give it a 3.5 on the aroma. I got the right amount of botanicals, not too assaulting. There's no alcohol sting to it. It's more aromatic with the botanicals than a lot of gins. I really like this, and I think it would be great with like an elderflower tonic or a lemon twist in a martini. Flavor, I said it was 3. I thought it was about average. It wasn't too sharp or anything like that on the flavor, but it wasn't necessarily anything, really great. No pleasant or rich flavor to it. It was just average. It was moderate. And then I gave it a 3 on bite. I think that was average too. So that gives me 11.5, which is basically a 3 rating. You, however, gave it a 4.
I gave it a 4 on the aroma, because it's like good gin. This is
pretty good gin.
because it doesn't hit you with a Christmas tree. You know, and a lot of the cheap gins are just like...
That's a good point, because the botanicals aren't the juniper Christmassy tree botanicals. You get a little bit of lemon.
And there's a hint of juniper, but not a lot.
That's a good point. That actually could make me go up to 4. It's not going to change our overall rating, because our overall rating is a 3. I've already looked at your score. But yeah, I could go with a 4. I was at 3.5. I could easily go with a 4, because you're right. It's not Christmassy tree.
And with the flavor, I think it's very nice. I gave it a 4 also. This would be a great martini.
I would do a lemon twist or something. A little bit of lemon in there.
And I did give it a 3 on the bite, because it does kind of have a little bit of a...
Yeah, it's not lingering and it's not sharp. It's just a little bit of spiciness to it. Right? And so that's a 13 for you, which is a 3.25. So it's going to average out to a 3. These guys have not disappointed me. Port Chillicothe, if you were traveling up to Alaska, or probably you might even get this in the Northwest and Washington, Oregon area. I haven't seen it in any of the stores that we can get to. Oh, excuse me, a little gin burp.
And your last name?
A gin burp. It's well worth it. I think I've been impressed with everything. Everything. I was thinking about one thing that I wasn't impressed with, that I still haven't tried, that he's tried, but that's a different Alaskan distillery. So, has a ghost pepper in it.
Oh.
Make sure you check out our YouTube. Well, you're watching YouTube, unless you're watching this on the blog. We do have bourbonandbooze.com blog. Check out the Facebook and Instagram and Twitter. Normally there's something posted on Twitter and Instagram daily, normally. And I try to port that over to Facebook. Anything else, merch?
The perk. I'm not wearing any.
Make sure you hit the like and subscribe and share this with everybody. And yeah, this is really good gin.
I like it.
I like it. So my wife will be excited that we opened it, because she hasn't tried it yet. She has her go-tos and just forgets. So have a good one. Cheers.
Laters.
Not bad.
Every time we try gin, I just want to have a martini afterwards.
Have one.